Hello and welcome to PC Building 101. The first thing to do before building a PC is to make sure that you have an anti-static strap for your wrist. If you don't have one, don't worry, as you can just touch the metal case to ground yourself. This will stop you from accidentally damaging any of the components within the computer. To get started, place the motherboard in the case and secure it using the 5 screws provided. If, like me, you might get lucky and the case will have clips to hold the board in place. Next, you want to apply some thermal paste to the CPU. This will ensure that heat is transferred efficiently to the heatsink when it is fitted, allowing for better cooling and heat dispersion. Use the card provided to apply a thin layer of thermal paste. Now to fit the heatsink. To do this, carefully place the heatsink onto the CPU and attach the metal tabs on either side to the clips on either side of the CPU socket. Once it is properly in place, flip the small lever on the heatsink to ensure that it is seated properly. Once it is seated properly, plug the cable coming out of the side of the heatsink's fan onto the motherboard. Next, place the hard drive into the caddy that is fitted to the case. The hard drive will slide in smoothly and will require a couple of screws to hold it in place. Next, carefully place the RAM modules onto the board. You will know when the RAM module is secure because the white tabs on either side will click into place. Components. Install the PCIe graphics card into the PCIe graphics slot. Don't worry about putting it in the wrong place, because it won't fit anywhere else. Secure this in place with the screw provided. Finally, install the ATX power supply. This was done last as it is quite bulky and can make it difficult to install the other components onto the mainboard. The ATX power supply is held in place with 4 screws in the back. The fun part, wiring this system up. Carefully fit the PCIe power cable to the back of the graphics card. Then take the cables attached to the front of the case and separate them before connecting them to the motherboard. They consist of a reset switch, the power supply button, switch, the LED light power supply for the hard drive activity. Be careful when fitting these as they can be fiddly to fit. Next, fit the SATA 2 cables to the mainboard. These will connect the motherboard to the hard drive. Don't worry, they can only fit one way. Next, hook the exhaust fan cable to the mainboard. On the motherboard there should be 3 pins. The exhaust fan cable plugs into these. The next cable is a 24-pin ATX connector. This plugs into the mainboard and supplies the mainboard's power. The next cable to look for is a 4-pin Molex. This cable plugs into the graphics card adapter. This will supply power to the graphics card. The final cable to look for is a 15-pin SATA 2 power supply cable. This cable plugs into the back of the hard drive. Now you can do some simple cable management. The final part of this build will consist of testing the build. To do this, plug a monitor into the back of the system and power the system up. As you can see, the system powered up no problem. And that's how you build a PC. Enjoy!